Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short. It's Donkey Kong Country. They made what into a TV series? Hey, we've hit double figures. We're at episode 10. Get a Life, Don't Save One. Written by Erica Strabel. So that's a returning writer. But a new one, Peter Soda. Yeah, Soda. Yeah, so that name's not popped up yet. Nadine van der Velde not involved in this one at all. Erica Strabel involved again, and Peter Soda, here to add something, I guess, basically. Do you notice it when Nadine van der Velde's not there?
Well,
in regards to, I suppose, the Crystal Coconut thing again.
Yeah, that's the main thing, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because again, the Crystal Coconut is not an element of this episode.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing. I think you mentioned that in episode 8.
Yes.
The talk through that you noticed it, and it's quite an important part here as well.
Yes.
This is a fun episode. This is a strong episode. I had a lot of fun with this, because guess why? It's Bluster.
Yes.
It's heavily based around Bluster. We begin at the Barrel Factory as DK has stopped Candy from working so he can sing a song. It is awful.
Yes.
Oh my god. Should we do it? 100 bananas. What was it? 100 bunch of bananas on wall. 100 bunch of bananas. They take one off, 99 bunch of bananas. And all. Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's awful. But she is stunned by it. And they start to dance. I'm like, good god.
I know.
Good god. Yeah, admittedly, the episode started great. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a long one. This is going to feel like a long one. But thank goodness Buster arrives to stop things. The man and DK leave and Candy go back to work. I want to bring this up again because we mentioned it in a previous episode. I want to bring it up again. But my god, the logistics of why Candy has to work, nobody else does, still baffles me in this show. Why does she have a job, but nobody else does? What?
Maybe she's like a slave, I don't know.
I don't get it.
She's a slave, I don't know.
It's just, it feels like it's very, very odd.
Yeah.
Like, who is Bluster selling it to, like, barrels to? Why is there a barrel factory? What relevance does that have? What's she being paid in? Don't say bananas. Don't say bananas, because no.
I don't know. I'm guessing the barrels are for K. Rool, because obviously he uses them on his mind. So I don't know, but then why would you sell them to the enemy?
No, that doesn't make any sense. So other times, K. Rool in the previous episode has tried to take over the barrel factory to make explosive barrels. I guess it's just trying to have a reason to time barrels in because of the Donkey Kong Country games.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess. But yeah, DK and Candy don't even listen to Bluster. And in his rage, Bluster ends up getting knocked into the machine. I don't know how. And he gets trapped in a barrel. And is about to be crushed. It looks like it's all over for Bluster. Until DK in his dancing swings his head back, does that, and hits a button which stops the machine, saving Bluster's life. Complete accident, but Bluster is so grateful, he swears an oath to protect DK from any harm. And this is where the shit gets fun.
Yep.
This is where stuff gets fun. DK is now telling Diddy about it as they swing through the trees. But above them, Bluster arrives in a barrel copter offering to transport him around. DK is like, yeah, sweet, I'll take that. Which enrages Diddy, who falls from the trees and lands on Clump. Okay. Clump reports about the K. Rool, who suspects a plot by the apes. And I'm like, I'm not sure where he's got this from. Like, someone's Is K. Rool going mad?
I swear he's insane. He just.
I think it's just super paranoid.
Yeah, talking like the devil and the angel.
He seems like he's going really paranoid because then it says a rock number called "No One's Going to Make a Monkey Out of Me," and it revolves around his concern that the apes are planning something. So I'm like, okay, yeah, he's super paranoid.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Afterwards, Diddy is having a go at DK for leaving him. DK insists that I only left, because that would make Bluster feel better and he'll have repaid his debt. Dixie then arrives looking for her pet crab. Diddy says that he'll help her look for it as Candy compliments DK on his song. And he offers to keep singing it, but Candy wants a kiss. I was, oh, thank God, don't sing that song again. Before they can kiss, Bluster drags them away, though, hilariously, saving DK from germs. I was like, that's quite funny. All right, that's quite good. Yeah, I like that. DK now is complaining and cranky about Bluster while balancing on a barrel? Okay. Bluster comes running along to save him, but ends up knocking DK off, ending up on the barrel himself. So basically, we're going to get a pratfall sequence. Because he ends up crashing it into 2 other barrels that apparently have Clump and Crusher hiding inside. Luckily for the apes, this entire sequence of events results in those 2 barrels being launched into the air and just knocked away. So, okay, that was mad. Bluster remarks that DK's existence, it's just too dangerous. And if he's going to protect DK, he's going to have to stay by his side 24/7, much to DK's dismay. And I was like, yeah, this is quite funny.
Yeah, definitely.
Over to K. Rool, who is now being given a report from Clump and Crusher, which amounts to basically nobody knows anything. That's it. That's the report. He then orders him, look, Bluster's involved. Get me that ape. Bluster is telling Funky why he's protecting DK and wants to know where he is. Funky plays dumb as DK and Diddy are hiding behind surfboards, and Bluster leaves looking for DK. DK asks Funky for help, so Funky sings a funk song, unsurprisingly, called Listen to Funky. Yeah, I don't like this track.
No.
But we are back to the 2-in-episode system.
Yeah.
Once that torture is over, we cut the DK on a minecart track as Funky and Diddy cover him with bananas. This is some sort of Funky's plan, and Diddy's a little concerned. So I initially thought, oh, they're going to time to the minecart track. A minecart's going to come along, Bluster saves him, and that'll be the debt repaid.
Yes.
But then he covered bananas. I'm like, what's that got to do with anything?
You're hiding, yeah.
But along comes Bluster in a barrelcopter to save DK anyway. However, Clump and Crusher are nearby and are planning to grab Bluster at this opportunity. Somehow, though, because this is weird, the minecart they are in runs over DK, gets filled with bananas, and they're now blinded, so they miss Bluster completely. I don't get the logistics of this at all, but fine. Bluster is outraged. I mean, he's mad by the trouble DK keeps getting into, and now insists that I will be keeping my eye on you every single second. Hilariously, though, obviously, as soon as he says that, everyone just disappears. And I laughed at that. I was like, yeah, that's good. That's classic comedy, you know?
Yeah.
Bluster's searching for DK in the jungle when he stops on a big red X. He looks up, sees a barrel, and then sees Crusher holding a rope. The lizard drops the barrel and captures Bluster, taking a K roll. This is a good sequence as well. It's done in that classic way where he's like, slow, looks over, Crusher's just like, might as well wave, and then lets it go. It's good Roadrunner shit.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Funky, DK and Diddy are still trying to exhaust Bluster from saving him by pretending to be out of control in Funky's biplane. So they're in the plane, they're flying around and pretending it's out of control, thinking they can exhaust Bluster to the point where he's just sick and tired of it and will leave him alone. Yep. Somehow, though, the plane goes out of control for real, and Bluster's not there to save DK as he starts to crash. So the whole thing is Funky's controlling it with a remote control. That stops working, and DK obviously doesn't know how to fly to the plane. The hologram of Cranky then appears in the back seat and shouts instructions to DK, ensuring he doesn't crash. I do admit, I do at least like that DK goes, oh, I didn't know you could fly, Cranky. Like, at least they acknowledge that part, you know? Meanwhile, K. Rool is demanding to know what the ape's plan is, but Bluster, of course, doesn't have a clue what they're talking about. This is the best part of the show.
Yep.
K. Rool and Bluster's shit here, back and forth, is very good.
Yes.
But also, it ties lovely into that horrible song in a really funny way.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he says about last words and starts to sing it, I was like, oh, you cheeky fuck. I loved it. K. Rool tries to force him to tell him by making him work in his underground factory. So you're going to go down and you're going to work. And Bluster being like, Bluster who doesn't like work, naturally that's a fate worse than death, which I also liked.
Yep.
Bluster tries to think like DK. He's like, what would DK do to get in a situation, and comes up with the idea. I'm going to ask him a final request. K. Rool agrees, and Bluster starts to sing the DK's Banana Bunch song. That song. 99 banana bunches on the wall. That thing. And admittedly, K. Rool's face is hilarious. I mean, you are like, well, just stop him. Just stop him. But K. Rool is just like, all right, I'm going to let it happen. But like his face when he realised, oh, he's going to get a 1.
Yes.
He's going to actually make it. And it does seem to buy him some time. Meanwhile, DK has landed and Cranky tells him he saw a vision of Bluster in trouble in the Crystal Coconut. And I was like, that is so... that's Nadine van der Velde writing. How convenient is that? I thought, what is the Crystal... What? MacGuffin. Gossard.
Yep.
So DK and Diddy fly off to rescue him. Bluster has run out of bananas in his song, but he did manage to get Crusher and the goons involved. That's why I started to laugh. Because he's come to 0 and like the others are singing and dancing as well. Yeah. Like I did like that. But hilariously, Buster's like, shit, I need to buy more time. He tries to start it again. Let's go again. Because as well, what's funny is Crusher and the goons are like, yeah! You know, like they're loving it. But K. Rool's like, nah, mate, not having none of this shit. On orders Bluster into the factory. But it's all okay, of course, as DK arrives, flying into the lair in a biplane. K. Rool now thinks, oh, this was the plan all along. I'm like, what was the plan? What was the plan?
To infiltrate him.
Like, but what are they going to do? They're never going to. They're not going to kill you. They'd have done it already. He orders Crusher to stop them, but DK and Diddy easily get the Bluster to insist that he's now doubly indebted to DK, which I did laugh. K. Rool, though, isn't going to be defeated just yet, which I was actually like, oh yeah, look, he's actually going to say, like, I'm not going to let this happen. Yep. And brings an armada of minions with guns to stop them. They come up out of the floor. I mean, as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, this ain't going to matter, is it? Nope. Bluster, though, in a random, completely you forgot this even existed, now notices Dixie's pet crab is on K. Rool and kind of warns K. Rool's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to fall for that. but he gets bit by the lizard, which allows DK to swing into him and knock him off his platform on the Crusher. Two things here. Alright, fair enough, they did mention the crab earlier on, but why is it here suddenly? Alright, it suggested that it was in the biplane. That's what it suggested.
Yes.
However, what I did like, do you know how rare it is we get physicality? Of DK actually physically hitting K. Rool in the video game style.
Yeah.
Because how do you beat him on a boat? You knock him off the
Yeah.
platforms.
First time, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not quite out of the woods yet, though. But luckily, Clump arrives in an out-of-control minecart, the one from earlier on, to knock the goons down. He smashes through the goons like bowling pins, and then somehow chases K. Rool and Crusher away, who, rather than moving to the left, it's the Prometheus run, where instead of running to your left or right, you run straight on from the thing that's going to fall on you.
Yes.
If you don't know what we're talking about the movie Prometheus, where at the end of the movie, one of the characters from the big rolling ring thing, ship, rather than running to the left and right, just runs straight on, and you're just like, are you fucking stupid? Absolutely bad movie. The episode ends with the apes flying away in a biplane. At the Barrel Factor, Bluster declares that he saved them, and that his debt is now done. So he's kind of like, well, I've saved you and we're done. But his debt is done. Dixie now arrives, wondering where Crab was, and we close with the sound of K. Rool being bitten by it again, screaming in his lair. And that's the end of the episode. Poor start, really strong once it gets going with the Bluster trying to save DK, and the scenarios surrounding that are quite amusing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, including this episode, the last 3 episodes are very strong. I like the fact that they've changed the writers, and it's still strong.
Yeah.
Even with the old writer and the new writers, it's impressive.
Yeah, even the things I think we complain about, like the conveniences and stuff like that, I think we both accept. We often do it as we were talking it through. We both accept that we just have to have them because you can't have explanations for everything. We have a 20-minute episode. It's aimed at children. They will happily accept that the Crystal Coconut is this massive MacGuffin. It will just allow and give you what's needed for when they need it. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, this was the real moment where I realised that I like Bluster the most, and I'm enjoying Bluster the most, and more of that. But that's overall. I don't think it's an amazing episode because I think the beginning is a bit poor, and I don't really like the ending with the pet crab thing either. Yeah. And I'm not a fan of the whole out of control biplane bit. That goes on a bit too long as well. But overall, it's just fun. It's a fun episode. And it's nice to be episode 10 having had this run, because I think if we were continuing the sort of not rubbish, but they're not so good, the blasé, that just exists, it's an episode, and we've got to this point, we'd probably be struggling for steam to carry this on. Yeah, definitely. And we do want to finish it, all 40 episodes, we've still got another 30 to go, But that is episode number 10. Get a life, don't save one. Got any thoughts on it? Let us know in the comments.
Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for? Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music, and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror, and heavy metal. What else is life for?